Beamy Julian, 29 years old, senior systems architect for a mid-sized logistics software company in Seattle. Job is stressful but rewarding because the code actually moves physical things across the country. Office culture used to be pretty standard tech environment. Hoodies, too much coffee, ping pong table that nobody actually uses, and a general vibe of just get the work done. CEO is a guy named Elias. Elias is a salt-of-the-earth type, started the company in a garage, knows Python better than English, generally leaves us alone. Company is profitable, bonuses are decent, turnover is low, life is good. Enter the villain of our story. Elias decides he wants to focus on big-picture strategy and mergers, so he steps back from daily operations. He hires a new HR director to modernize the workplace culture. Enter Miriam. Miriam is in her mid-40s, wears power suits that cost more than my car, and speaks exclusively in corporate buzzwords. She has a smile that doesn't reach her eyes and a terrifyingly organized planner. First week is quiet. She spends her time walking around the office, taking notes on a tablet, nodding solemnly at empty break rooms. It feels like a health inspector looking for rats. Week 2, the emails start. Subject line: Reimagining our shared space. The content is a 3-page essay on how the office layout promotes legacy patriarchal hierarchies. I sit next to Arthur, our 50-year-old database administrator. Arthur is a genius who looks like a grumpy wizard and hates everything except SQL and his granddaughter. Arthur reads the email, sighs so loud it rattles his monitor, and deletes it. I ask him what he thinks. It begins, Julian, the end times are upon us. I laugh it off, thinking he is being dramatic. I was wrong. Miriam calls a mandatory all-hands meeting on a Tuesday morning. Usually Tuesday mornings are for code sprints, so everyone is already annoyed. We gather in the main conference room. Miriam stands at the front, flanked by a projector screen showing a pie chart that makes no sense. She introduces herself as the Chief People Officer, a title that didn't exist until 5 minutes ago. She talks for 45 minutes about equity, lived experience, and systemic calibration. Then she drops the bomb. She announces the Equity First initiative. The core tenet is that the company has been male-dominated for too long. It is a logistics software firm. 90% of the applicants are male. To balance the scales, she is implementing a series of new policies designed to prioritize female staff. The room is silent. Alina, our lead UI/UX designer and generally one of the sharpest people in the building, raises her hand. Miriam, does this mean hiring quotas? Because I want to know my team is hired for skill, not optics. Miriam smiles that cold, shark-like smile. It's not about quotas, Alina, it's about equity of opportunity. We are simply giving underrepresented voices a megaphone. Nobody knows what that means. We find out the next day. New rule number 1, the speaking stick. In meetings with more than 4 people, male staff are asked to wait until all female staff have spoken before contributing. I am in a technical architecture review. It is me, Tobias, a junior developer, Arthur, and Sarah, a project manager who doesn't know code. Arthur tries to explain that the database sharding strategy is going to cause latency. Miriam, who is sitting in to observe, clears her throat. Arthur, please let Sarah finish her thought on the timeline before you interrupt with technicalities. Sarah was talking about the font color on the Gantt chart. Arthur turns a shade of purple I have never seen before. We sit there for 20 minutes listening to Sarah guess about timelines while the database plan burns. Arthur stays silent for the rest of the meeting. The project timeline slips by 2 weeks because we didn't fix the sharding issue. Miriam sends an email blaming technical inflexibility. Week 4 brings the schedule optimization. Miriam decides that to support work-life balance, the company needs core hours. However, she argues that women bear a disproportionate burden of domestic labor. Therefore, female staff are granted flexible hybrid status. They can come in whenever they want or work from home permanently. Male staff, to ensure operational continuity, are required to be in the office from 9 to 6, Monday through Friday. No exceptions. Tobias, the junior dev, has a 2-year-old son and a wife who works as a nurse. He relies on flexible hours to do the daycare pickup. He goes to Miriam's office to explain his situation. He comes back looking defeated. I ask him what happened. She told me that sometimes equality feels like oppression to the privileged. She gave me a pamphlet on time management. Tobias is the nicest guy in the world. He looks like he is about to cry. I feel a knot of anger tightening in my chest. It is not about the politics, it is about the cruelty. Production starts to suffer. The female staff, to their credit, are mostly embarrassed by this. Alina starts coming in early just to show solidarity with the guys. She tells me in the break room, "This is insane. I didn't ask for this. It makes me look like a charity case." But a few people take advantage. There is a marketing coordinator named Jessica who suddenly disappears for 4 hours in the middle of the day for wellness appointments. Meanwhile, Arthur is denied a half day for a dentist appointment because coverage is thin. The atmosphere in the office turns toxic. Nobody talks in the open anymore. We communicate entirely through encrypted chat channels that Miriam doesn't know exist. The channel is named the Underground Railroad, but Arthur renames it the Leper Colony. Month 2 brings the breaking point. We are approaching Black Friday, the busiest time of the year for logistics. Our systems handle millions of transactions. If the servers go down, trucks stop moving, and our clients lose millions. Usually the whole team pulls an all-nighter to prep the infrastructure. It is a tradition. We order pizza, blast music, and get it done. Elias usually comes in with beer and bonuses. But Elias is in Tokyo negotiating the merger. Miriam is in charge. She sends out a memo regarding the Black Friday prep. She states that due to budgetary reallocation for the Women in Leadership seminar, there will be no overtime pay this year. Instead, we will receive time in lieu comp time, but here is the kicker. The comp time can only be taken during non-critical periods. Essentially never. Furthermore, she decides that the high-stress environment of the all-nighter is exclusionary. She mandates that the female staff are exempt from the late shift to protect their mental load. The male staff are required to stay until the migration is complete. So she wants the men to work for free overnight while the women go home. I look at Arthur. Arthur looks at me. He slowly takes off his glasses and polishes them. "Julian," he says softly, "I think I feel a sickness coming on." "It must be contagious," I reply. "I feel quite ill myself." We turn to Tobias. "Tobias, you look pale. You should probably go home." Tobias blinks, then a slow grin spreads across his face. "Yeah, my stomach, it's terrible." We do not make a scene, we do not scream, we simply adhere to the company handbook. The handbook, which Miriam revised, states that health and wellness are paramount, and employees feeling unwell must vacate the premises immediately to prevent contagion. It is Thursday, 2 p.m. The migration is scheduled for Friday night. I stand up, pack my bag, and walk to Miriam's office. Her door is open. She is on a call laughing about how she tamed the tech bros. I knock on the door frame. She spins around, annoyed. "Julian, I'm on a call. Use the booking system." "Emergency, Miriam. I've developed a sudden severe migraine, visual aura. I can't see the screen. I need to go home." She narrows her eyes. "You have the migration tomorrow." "I know. Hopefully it passes by then, but per your handbook, section 4.2, I cannot work while incapacitated." I turn and leave before she can argue. Arthur is right behind me. "Food poisoning," Arthur grunts as he passes her door. "Ate a bad sandwich." Tobias walks by. "Stomach flu, highly contagious." Marcus from sales, who isn't even a dev but hates Miriam, decides to join in. Vertigo. The lights are too bright. Within 15 minutes, the entire male engineering staff, 8 people, has walked out. The office is left with Alina, Sarah, Jessica, and 2 interns. Alina texts me 10 minutes later. Message: "You guys are legends." Miriam is freaking out. She's calling agency contractors. I reply, "Good luck." The system is written in a custom legacy framework Arthur built in 2015. No contractor can learn it in 24 hours. I go home, turn off my phone, and open a beer. Friday morning arrives. I wake up to 47 missed calls, 12 from Miriam, 10 from the office landline. 25 from Elias. Wait, Elias, I listened to the voicemail from Elias. It is short. Julian, call me now. I debate ignoring it, but I like Elias. I call him back. Julian, what the hell is going on? I'm in Tokyo. It's 3 a.m. here, and Miriam tells me there's a mutiny. Not a mutiny, Elias, a health crisis. The whole team is sick. Elias is silent for a moment. He is a smart man. He connects the dots. Is this about the new policies? He asks. I can't comment on policy while I'm recovering from a migraine, Elias, but I can say that unpaid overtime and discriminatory scheduling tends to weaken the immune system. Elias sighs. A deep, weary sigh. The migration is tonight. Can you do it? I'm sick, Elias, and so is Arthur and Tobias. We really need our rest. Besides, Miriam said the flexible hybrid policy ensures operational continuity. Julian, don't give me the corporate speak. If the servers don't migrate, we lose the FedEx contract. That's 30% of our revenue. That sounds like a management problem, Elias. Maybe you should ask the chief people officer to handle the people. I hang up. It was the boldest thing I have ever done. My heart is pounding. I spend the day playing video games. Friday night comes. The deadline for the migration is midnight. At 11:30 p.m. my doorbell rings. It is not Miriam. It is Elias. He looks like he hasn't slept in a week. He is wearing a wrinkled suit and holding a bottle of very expensive scotch. Can I come in? He asks. I let him in. We sit on my couch. He pours 2 glasses. I fired her, he says. I take a sip. Oh, she tried to claim you all orchestrated a gender-based strike and wanted to sue you for damages. She was screaming in the conference room. And Alina walked in. She had recorded the last 3 meetings. She played me the audio of Miriam calling the engineering team expendable drones and privileged crybabies while mocking Tobias's family situation. Elias shakes his head. I didn't know, Julian. I checked out. I let it happen. Yeah, you did. I'm sorry. He looks at his watch. It's 11:45. We have 15 minutes before the batch jobs start failing. I'm still feeling pretty sick, Elias. Elias pulls a folded piece of paper from his pocket. This is a contract addendum. It guarantees a 20% raise for the engineering team, retroactive to last month. It also strikes the equity first policy from the record and reinstates the old overtime pay structure, double time for weekends. He slides it across the table. And Arthur gets his vacation time approvals instantly forever. I look at the paper. It is signed. What about Tobias? I ask. Promoted to mid-level dev effective immediately with the raise. I pick up my phone. I text the group chat. Message, the doctor prescribed a miracle cure, scotch and a 20% raise, assemble. Arthur replies instantly, I'm already in the car, Tobias. On my way, we meet at the office at 11:55 p.m. The place is a ghost town. Miriam's office is dark. Her nameplate is already in the trash bin by the door. We sit down at our desks. The familiarity of the mechanical keyboards is soothing. Arthur cracks his knuckles. All right, boys, let's save this sinking ship. We work through the night. It is a disaster. Miriam had tried to clean up the file structure herself earlier in the day and deleted 3 config files. But we are good at what we do. By 6 a.m., the migration is complete. The trucks are moving. The data is flowing. We are exhausted, running on caffeine and adrenaline. Elias orders breakfast burritos for everyone. Alina comes in around 7 a.m. She sees us slumped in our chairs, surrounded by empty Red Bull cans. She walks over to me and high-fives me. You should have seen her face when Elias told her to pack, Alina says. She tried to say she was being persecuted. What did Elias say? He asked her if her lived experience included knowing how to restart a Linux kernel. We laugh. It is a tired, hysterical laugh. Monday comes. The office feels different. The tension is gone. Miriam is gone. Elias holds a meeting. No PowerPoint, no buzzwords. He stands on a chair. I screwed up, he says. I hired the wrong person and I ignored the culture we built. It won't happen again. Get back to work. Everyone cheers. Life returns to normal, mostly. Arthur puts a small sign on his desk that says the patriarch. It is a joke. Alina thinks it is hilarious. Tobias buys a new car with his raise. I get a nice bonus. But the best part happens a month later. I am browsing LinkedIn. I see a post from Miriam. She has updated her profile. Open to work. Consultant for organizational transformation. She has posted a long rant about toxic masculinity in the tech sector and how she was silenced for speaking truth to power. It has 3 likes. One of them is from her mother. I scroll down to the comments. There is one comment from a random account. It says, "Did you learn SQL yet?" I look over at Arthur. He is typing away, a small, evil smile on his face. I don't say anything. I just sip my coffee and get back to code. Sometimes the system works. Sometimes you just have to crash it to fix it. Be me happy.
Hello guys, if you enjoyed this content, make sure to like the video, share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.